Hello everybody, it's tip number 9 in the Spring Forward Spring Forward 25-day challenge. I'm very excited you're here. I wanted to show you today how to introduce your students to the concept of long vowels and how to introduce them to how to handle all the variation that we have with advanced phonics, like the long vowels. The long O sound can be the O in go, the O in show, the O in boat, the O in toe, the O in home. So how does a child cope with all of that diversity? So the way that I introduce it is through an activity called Build It. And this is a sheet where I teach that information in the Reading Simplified Academy. So I'm going to introduce that to you today. And if you're coming in, say hi, tell me where you're from, and tell me how many days of school you have left, okay? So this is going to be Build It to introduce Advanced Phonics. Okay, if you haven't heard about what the Spring Forward Challenge is, it's an opportunity to try a couple of new activities that make a big difference so that you end the year really strong and confident, and you move your struggling readers up instead of kind of letting them slide into summer. Okay, so we are in week 4 of the Spring Forward Challenge, and if you haven't gotten the free lesson plans that are associated with that, go to the post above and click on that Spring Forward 25-day challenge. And even if you're out of school, you can still follow along and get some refreshing ideas for next year, because these activities, they pack a punch. They're only a handful, but each one knocks out so many reading sub-skills. So today we're going to be showing you that, how to handle the advanced phonics, and we're going to be working on the sound O. So the way that one way that we save time with Reading Simplified is by not doing a list of phonics spellings one after the other that are kind of random, but rather we group spellings by sound, because kids come to us knowing sounds, so this is something that they can handle. So we would spend a week with kindergartners, maybe 2 weeks with kindergartners, and definitely just a week with first graders and up on one sound at a time. And then they would learn most of the key spellings for that sound. So for O, we're going to get started with that. So if they've never done advanced phonics and they've never done our sorted activity, which you'll find in week 4 of the Spring Forward Challenge, and you'll get this free. If they haven't done this, then Build It is a great introduction to the long vowels. Okay, so all it is pretty simple. It looks somewhat like Switch It if you followed us before. You ask the student to build the word road. Okay, so we're going to read a whole bunch of words and build some words that have the O sound. Can you say O with me? Oh. Okay, and so they pull the sounds down. They say R. Make sure you say the sound as they do it. And they look, and maybe they don't recognize this, but between the two, they can figure out that this is O. And they pull that down. O. Duh. You built the word. What's that word? Road. Okay, let's check it. R-O-D. Great. Okay, did you know that this was a spelling of O? Interesting. Let's see what other spellings we can discover. Okay, there's road. Now let's build the word show. Okay? Show me how to build the word show. Can you do that? If you have any questions about this, please put them in the comments so I can get your questions answered. Okay, so let's build the word show. Shh. Oh, okay. That was pretty easy for you. You build that word with that new spelling. What is the word? Show. Okay, tell me the sounds. Shh. Oh, wow. Okay, is this the same spelling as this? That's interesting. It's the same sound, the O in road and the O in show, but it's a different spelling. Our language can be tricky. Okay, what about the word go? You think you can do that? Okay, and the student builds go, O. Anyway, wait a minute. Is this the same spelling as this or this? Oh my goodness, what do we have here? We have how many? At least 3 different spellings of O. And then they continue and they build the word toe. And then you take another one that's like this, cut it in half, and show them how this could be separated to make the word note or home. And so then they build all this production of these main spellings of O, and you say, huh, this is O in what word? And this is O in what word? And the O in go, the O in toe. Look at all those spellings. Isn't that amazing? And then you say, now you know how to read all those O sound words. You can read them on this page, and I bet you can sort them by spelling. So then you move straight into sort it, which is what our activity is for week 4. And you ask the students to just simply read a word and then decide which column it goes under. And then, of course, boat would go over here for that spelling. And then own would go over here for that spelling. And as they write each spelling, they say each sound. So this is what their writing should look like, or sound like, really. B, O, T. So they're segmenting and they're extending the O the whole time. That really helps get them the idea that this is together one thing. And especially if we've been staying a long time with consonants and short vowels, this may throw them a little bit. And so that's why these on separate tiles or cards can be helpful to make them really see that this is one sound and this is one sound. This is one sound and this is one sound. And so you continue that in the kinesthetic act of writing. If you're just tuning in, let me know how it's going for you in the Spring Forward Challenge. How many days of school do you have left? You can answer either of those or both of those questions. So then you move into sort it, like I said, and then you spend a good week doing sorted pages and reading O sound text. Now, with the Spring Forward Challenge, I'm giving you these free materials like the story Joe and Joan. Notice it's got a lot of the O sound words. I am Joe, I am Joan, we both have soap. Go, boats, go. So almost every square has something for the O sound. And what kids do is they read it, and so it helps them transfer this information from word work into real reading. And then after you've asked them to summarize it, make sure that comprehension is established, then they go and then they go and search for the O's, and they circle just the O. So they say Joe, and they circle it, just that spelling, and they circle the O and Joan, and they go on a search. And this really tunes them into paying attention to sounds and words, because when they get to the word, say, to, like we go to the tub, there is an O in there, but what sound is that? And to, you kind of draw that to their attention so that they discriminate between the letter O and the sound O. And so this really quickly helps kids learn this complicated stuff. And so in a week's time, they've learned these spellings of O, and you're ready to move on into the E sound and do the same pattern of sort it with an E sound instead, and then reading E sound texts and searching for E sound spellings. And that just helps kids soak this information up really, really fast. So I see kids do 1 week of O, 1 week of E, 1 week of A, 1 week of I, 1 week of 1 week of ow, 1 week of oo. And we're about seven or 8 weeks. Kids have gotten most of the advanced phonics spellings. That's pretty exciting. A lot of reading programs will send you on wild goose chase of endless phonics lists, but really you only need to teach sufficient numbers of phonics information and give them the phonemic manipulation skills to be able, and the blending skills to be able to decode words on their own. And then after that, they figure out the rest of the code in the context of text, especially if you're there during guided reading, giving them feedback. So it doesn't take that long, in other words, to expose them to all the complicated things that are in our English written code, and then have them successfully attacking more and more new words as they encounter them. So that's what's really exciting about this next stage in the Spring Forward Challenge, you guys. We did 3 weeks of short vowels to make sure that we have a strong foundation at that level. But now you're ready to go into advanced phonics and learn how to cope with all of these tricky vowel spellings. So let me show you some other pages that you'll see in the packet for the sorted of the O sound. Besides doing Joe and Joan, your kids would also maybe read row, row, row your boat. And the smaller words are for the teacher to read because they may be harder. But then you've got the O there in row and the O there in boat for them to read and circle. And that's kind of easy. So then this would be a more challenging one. If they couldn't do it on their own, you could buddy read it. So this is toad and goat. You notice we've got several O spellings. Yellow boat. And bow is a goat. So again, you do the same thing. You'd read for the text, read it, and make sure you comprehend it, and then search for the spellings. So that is, in a nutshell, how to juggle all the complicatedness of advanced phonics. And I hope that this has been beneficial. I hope that you can jump right into that for the Spring Forward Challenge. And again, the Spring Forward Challenge offers you guys prizes. Everyone is a winner simply by doing some of the activities and going to the post above and commenting on how it went for you. When you do that, you get a second sorted packet. There's a link above for a free O sound packet that I've just shown you. But then if you go and comment in the first blog post about the Spring Forward 25-day challenge, you will get a packet for the E sound. So you've got the potential for 2 full weeks of curriculum that will really stun you with how much the students can accomplish. So I hope that everyone can participate. Share this with your friends because they would probably like to have this either now or for next school year, so that you can start the school year knowing that the activities you choose are very powerful. They do a lot. This activity, for instance, that we started with, Build It, when the child has these words scrambled, and move this over here. This requires letter sound knowledge. It requires phonemic segmentation. O, D. And it's also early spelling. So this is one simple activity. It's kind of fun. Kids like to manipulate on a board. I would typically use something like this for that activity. But it's nailing phonemic segmentation, which is a vital foundational skill for reading, decoding, and it also reinforces letter sound knowledge. And then it's also basically what's required for spelling. And so it naturally transfers well into writing. When you ask kids to compose original things, they have this mindset of hearing the sounds and words and being able to represent them visually. So that's just one example of how the activities that are in the Spring Forward Challenge do multiple things simultaneously, so it saves you time. You don't have to do phonemic awareness separately and orally, and then do letter sound knowledge, and then do spelling, and then do decoding, and then do high frequency word knowledge. You can do most of them all together in just a handful of activities. So I hope that either you do these now before school is out, or if school is already out, then that you can give these a try and follow this series of Facebook Lives and the emails that come out with it, and be really excited about the acceleration that you'll see in your students next year, and also the ability you'll have to work less, because these activities do so much in such a short period of time. You don't have to scramble around for endless phonemic awareness activities. This, with Switch It and Read It and Sort It, is really all you need. I've been working with kids for many years myself, kids age 4 or kids 14, and this is all that I use for the most part to get them to grade level in about 12 hours of instruction. So I know it works. It's worked for me, but I've also worked through university research with teachers in multiple states like Nebraska, New Mexico, Texas, and North Carolina, in addition to you guys who are all over the world. And those teachers that I got to track in a university research study, or several studies actually, they also found these activities packed a punch, got a lot more accomplished in a shorter period of time, so the teacher can work less. So that is really a good news as we are tired as we get closer and closer to the end of school year. I know that the kids are antsy and the sun is out and they want to get out, and so do you. So a shorter, easier activity is really the ticket. So make sure you get clicked on for the Reading Simplified page to get notifications for when we go live again. Share this with your friends. And if you don't want to share it to everyone, you could just even comment with your friends' names, and that will tag them so that they can get access to all these freebies. Everybody likes to be given freebies. And don't forget to share how it's going for you with the Spring Forward Challenge, either in the comments of this Facebook Live or back up at that post above, the blog post about the Spring Forward Challenge. Because remember, by June 15th, we're going to pick winners. And not only is everyone going to be a winner, but one person will win 3 full months membership to the Reading Simplified Academy, which not only includes a video course about how to do all this stuff, but gives you hundreds of these pages. So you have everything you need to do a handful of activities easily. So I'm going to be heading out for a walk, I hope soon. I hope you guys have some restful things to do on this Saturday, some fun things too. So I'm going to head out for now, but thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk soon.